Imagine, you have a hot co-worker whom you've been treating as an enemy, but secretly you like her. One day, you both find yourselves alone in an elevator and you kiss her. Surprisingly, she likes it. Lucy Hutton, a 28-year-old dynamo, stationed at her desk in the bustling Bexley and Gaiman publishing house. Right beside her sits Joshua Templeman, her desk neighbor extraordinaire. Together, they're the right-hand duo to the power couple CEOs, Helene Pascal and Richard Bexley. Now, here's the twist. Lucy's got this burning, fiery hatred for Joshua. Every morning, it's like a battle of wills as she sits there, simmering with disdain. They're locked in this epic clash of titans, indulging in petty games and unprofessional antics. Lucy's mantra: turn everything into a competition against her sworn nemesis, Joshua. It's like she's on a mission to outshine him in every aspect of their shared workspace. And let's not forget, Joshua's not exactly a fan either. So, while Lucy's busy plotting her next move to outsmart him, she's also keeping tabs on his fashion choices. Seriously, she's practically cataloging every shade of blue he wears, from light to tea to medium to Savoy blue. It's almost comical how obsessed she is with this color-coded rivalry. But hey, amidst all this animosity, Lucy can't help but wonder why Joshua occupies so much space in her head. Shouldn't she just stick to hating him and be done with it? Yet, despite her best efforts to refocus on work, there's something about Joshua that keeps creeping back into her thoughts. So, Lucy and Joshua find themselves summoned to the ultimate showdown, the CEO's meeting room. The big bosses, Mr. Bexley and Helene, are gearing up to make a major announcement. One of their trusty assistants is about to ascend to the role of Chief Operating Officer. But here's the kicker. Lucy and Joshua shoot each other these intense looks, smiles strained as if hiding a world of rivalry beneath. It's a silent agreement. They both want to be top dog, and neither is willing to back down. In that charged moment, Lucy's mind goes into overdrive, plotting her next move to outshine Joshua. She's not just thinking about beating him at the promotion game, she's envisioning a full-on takeover, leaving him in the dust. Back at home, Lucy's craving some normalcy amidst the chaos. But instead, her mom's on the line, prying into her love life. Of course, the conversation circles back to that infamous office crush Lucy can't seem to shake, Joshua. It's like her mom's in on the drama too. With those thoughts swirling in her head, Lucy hits the hay, only to find her dreams hijacked by a steamy time with, you guessed it, Joshua. Talk about waking up on the wrong side of the bed. As she wrestles with the aftermath of her nocturnal ride, a wild idea pops into Lucy's head. What if she could use her attraction to Joshua to her advantage? What if she could play him like a fiddle, both in the boardroom and beyond? It's a risky move, teetering on the edge of temptation and treachery. But Lucy's never been one to shy away from a challenge, especially when it comes to taking down her rivals. The next day, armed with her risky plan, Lucy struts into the office dressed to the nines in a sleek black dress, ready to turn heads and catch Joshua's attention. And catch it she does, as Joshua's eyes practically pop out of his head when he sees her. With a smirk, Joshua quips about Lucy having a hot date lined up. Quick on her feet, Lucy spins a tale about her evening plans, weaving a web of lies about where she's headed. But when Joshua mentions he's coincidentally heading to the same place, Lucy's deception starts to unravel, leaving her feeling more awkward than ever. As if things couldn't get any worse, Joshua presses further, asking if she's meeting someone from the office. Caught off guard, Lucy blurts out a lie, claiming she is, even though she's all dolled up just to impress him. Desperate to salvage the situation, Lucy hatches a new plan on the fly, recruiting the unsuspecting designer Danny to play the part of her fake date. But as they ride down in the elevator, the tension between Lucy and Joshua crackles with an undeniable spark. Sensing an opportunity, Joshua offers Lucy a ride to the cafe, but she brushes him off, insisting she'll walk. Joshua, ever the gentleman, points out the impracticality of her high heels, igniting a flash of anger in Lucy that quickly fizzles out when she meets his gaze. In that charged moment, as their eyes lock, something shifts between them. Unable to resist the pull any longer, Joshua leans in and kisses Lucy, sending shockwaves through them both. As the elevator grinds to a halt, Lucy and Joshua find themselves in a cringeworthy silence, the awkwardness of their impromptu kiss lingering like a bad smell. With discomfort thick enough to cut with a knife, Joshua drops Lucy off at the cafe where Danny, her unwitting sidekick, awaits. In a clumsy attempt to salvage the moment, Joshua offers Lucy his umbrella as rain starts to pour outside. But she brushes off his gesture and bolts out of the car, her mind spinning like a hamster wheel. Inside the cafe, Lucy forces a smile for Danny's sake, But her thoughts keep circling back to the unexpected intimacy she shared with Joshua. Sneaking off to the restroom, Lucy's startled when Joshua appears out of thin air. Frustration boiling over, she lets loose on him, accusing him of playing mind games and wrecking her night. But Joshua throws her a curveball, revealing he's not there to stir the pot. He just wants to return her forgotten bag. Despite her initial resistance, Lucy finds herself softening toward Joshua's unexpected kindness. Still, she's determined to stick to her date with Danny, even though her heart's not fully in it after Joshua's bombshell. The next day, fueled by a mix of curiosity and suspicion, Lucy plays detective at Joshua's desk, hoping to dig up some dirt to use against him. Instead, she finds a puzzle in the form of cryptic codes scribbled in his planner, leaving her scratching her head in confusion. To add to the mystery, a random Smurf figurine shows up in the mail, a quirky addition to her collection that seems to have Joshua's fingerprints all over it. It's a head-scratcher that only deepens Lucy's intrigue. But just when she thinks things couldn't get any more complicated, Joshua lands a low blow by teasing Lucy about her small-town upbringing on a strawberry farm. His words hit her like a ton of bricks, stirring up feelings of loneliness and nostalgia she'd rather keep buried. The next day, Lucy is greeted with a surprise, a bouquet of roses accompanied by a note that simply reads, "You're always gorgeous." Her first instinct is to suspect Danny is the source of the romantic gesture, but she can't help but feel a flutter of happiness nonetheless. Arriving at work with a skip in her step, Lucy's mood takes a nosedive when Joshua approaches her. He awkwardly brings up the kiss they shared the night before, suggesting they just forget about it and move on. Surprisingly, Lucy agrees, eager to put the awkwardness behind them. When Joshua suggests they play a new game, Lucy proposes something radical. Why not try being normal colleagues for once and ditch the constant bickering? Joshua is taken aback by her suggestion, but before they can delve deeper, their boss interrupts, demanding updates on a new campaign. As Lucy pitches her idea for the promotion, Joshua swoops in with his own, labeling hers as boring, and touting his own paintball-themed concept that's already been approved. In a flash of frustration, Lucy imagines throttling Joshua but quickly regains her composure, reluctantly agreeing to his suggestion. The following day, Joshua's paintball extravaganza becomes a reality, with everyone gearing up for an intense game to foster team spirit. Despite her reservations, Lucy throws herself into the action, determined to put on a brave face. As they suit up for the game, Joshua notices Lucy's pallor and suggests she might be unwell, but she brushes off his concern and soldiers on. Danny tries to intervene, suggesting they team up, but Joshua shuts him down, revealing that teams have already been assigned, and Lucy and Joshua are paired together. As the paintball game kicks off, Lucy's determined to show off her skills and come out on top. But Joshua, ever the gentleman, has his eye on her safety more than anything else. Despite his efforts to keep her out of harm's way, Lucy's stubbornness leads to a tumble, bringing the game to an unexpected halt. With Lucy feeling queasy and feverish, Joshua swiftly shifts gears from rival to caregiver. He notices her flushed face and upset stomach, and when she loses her lunch, right on him. He handles it like a champ, showing a side of himself Lucy hadn't seen before. Taking charge, Joshua ensures Lucy gets home safely, and once they're there, he surprises her by stepping up as Mr. Nice Guy. He's not just making sure she's comfortable, he's taking care of her place too, like it's second nature. But the night takes a turn when Lucy overhears Joshua on the phone with his brother, Patrick, who happens to be a doctor. Their conversation veers from Lucy's illness to Joshua's upcoming wedding plans, and maybe even bringing Lucy along. It's a curveball that leaves Lucy reeling, wondering what exactly Joshua has up his sleeve. The next morning, Joshua is still in full-on caretaker mode, whipping up breakfast and tidying up Lucy's place. But when Lucy gets weirded out by his sudden kindness and tells him to keep it out of the office, things hit a snag. Joshua's reaction leaves their newfound dynamic hanging in the balance, and Lucy's left wondering where they stand in this ever-evolving relationship. When Lucy returns to the office, she's greeted by Danny, who surprises her with a bouquet of flowers. He sweetly escorts her to her office, leaving Lucy feeling a mixture of gratitude and confusion. However, when Danny leaves, Lucy's attention is drawn to something unexpected on her desk: strawberry juice stains. Memories of her recent illness flood back, and she recalls mentioning her love for strawberry juice to Joshua Knight during her time of need. As Lucy and Joshua grow closer in the aftermath of her illness, Lucy begins to realize that her feelings towards him aren't as hostile as she once thought. Their interactions become more intimate, leading to moments that leave Lucy questioning her true emotions. Things take a surprising turn when Joshua, upset after a kiss on the cheek, invites Lucy to a soiree later that evening. Discovering the strawberry juice and a card on her desk, Lucy pieces together that it was Joshua who had sent her flowers earlier in the week. Embarrassed by her assumption that Danny was the sender, Lucy is determined to make amends and express her gratitude to Joshua. Seeking a way to repay the kindness, Lucy boldly asks Joshua if there's anything she can do to return the favor, even offering to accompany him to his brother's wedding. Initially resistant, Joshua eventually relents, but their conversation takes a heated turn when Lucy pushes him into the storeroom. In the stifling atmosphere of the storeroom, Lucy confesses her desire to repay Joshua, but the tension between them reaches a boiling point. With emotions running high, Lucy makes a bold move, asking Joshua to kiss her. However, Joshua hesitates, reminding her of her relationship with Danny. Later that evening, Lucy and Danny share a kiss, but to Lucy's surprise, she feels nothing. Realizing that her heart belongs elsewhere, Lucy and Danny decide to remain friends, leaving Lucy to confront her true feelings for Joshua. As Lucy walks down the sidewalk, she unexpectedly crosses paths with Joshua, finding herself outside his apartment building. In a spontaneous moment, they share a kiss, and Lucy can't help but confess that no one kisses her quite like Joshua does. Taking in the sight of his robin's egg blue bedroom, Lucy realizes there's a depth to Joshua she hadn't fully appreciated before. In a candid conversation, Joshua explains that he's not interested in rushing into anything physical. He wants to take things slow and spend more time together rather than just having a one-time fling. It's a revelation that surprises Lucy but also deepens her admiration for him. Later, when Lucy calls Joshua after work, their connection is undeniable. Unable to resist each other, they agree that she should come over to his place. Their evening together is filled with passion, but Joshua draws the line at kissing, leaving Lucy longing for more. Meanwhile, Joshua makes a surprising decision at work, informing Mr. Bexley that he doesn't want any assistance in undermining Lucy's position. He's come to realize that he's used Lucy for his own gain, leaving him feeling unsettled. As the day of the wedding approaches, tensions rise between Lucy and Joshua. Lucy overhears a heated exchange between Joshua and Mr. Bexley, leaving her concerned but unable to piece together the full picture. During their journey to the wedding, Lucy and Joshua flirt and share their mutual attraction, leading Lucy to confess that he was the subject of an erotic dream she recently had. She also admits that her first date with Danny was based on a lie, as she pretended to have met someone else. At the wedding, Joshua's mother, Elaine, calls for his help with the decorations, interrupting a moment between Lucy and Joshua. Joshua confides in Lucy about his past experiences with women, revealing that many were only interested in his appearance and quickly moved on. As the evening wears on, Lucy finds herself drifting off to sleep, feeling a newfound closeness with Joshua but also grappling with the complexities of their evolving relationship. At the wedding, Joshua's demeanor seems off, leaving Lucy puzzled. Eventually, she uncovers the reason behind his unease. The bride, Mindy, was Joshua's ex-girlfriend. Lucy assumes she's just a rent-a-date brought along for appearances, but Elaine, Joshua's mother, reassures her otherwise. She emphasizes Lucy's uniqueness and assures her that Joshua's feelings for her are genuine. Joshua stops Lucy from leaving, explaining that he doesn't need moral support from Mindy but rather emotional support for his father, Anthony, who broke Joshua's heart. Moved by his vulnerability, Lucy decides to stay. That night, they share a moment of intimacy that transcends anything Lucy has experienced before. It's a powerful connection that leaves her breathless. The next morning, their passion continues in the shower, solidifying the depth of their bond. At the wedding brunch, Lucy confronts Anthony, defending Joshua and highlighting his remarkable qualities. Back in the city, Joshua and Lucy openly acknowledge their love for each other. Joshua reveals that he's always felt this way and even admits that he purposely painted his bedroom the color of Lucy's eyes. Touched by the gesture, Lucy finds herself flattered and overwhelmed. In a moment of vulnerability, Joshua confesses his love for Lucy and expresses his desire to end their conflicts and be together. However, Lucy's insecurities about work getting in the way dampen the moment. Sensing her hesitation, Joshua reassures her and encourages her to focus on them and their relationship. With renewed determination, they agree to start afresh, leaving behind the uncertainties of the past and embracing the promise of their future together. The day after, Lucy accidentally eavesdrops on a conversation between Josh and their boss. Misinterpreting it, she feels betrayed, convinced that Josh has been using their relationship to distract her from the promotion. furious, she resolves to outdo him for the job, fueled by a mix of frustration and disappointment. Needing guidance, Lucy confides in Danny, sharing her suspicions about Josh's motives. Despite her doubts, a lingering feeling suggests that Josh's feelings might still be genuine, adding complexity to her resolve. Unknown to Lucy, Josh's affection for her is sincere, dominating his thoughts. However, there's more to the situation than meets the eye, and Josh's actions are part of a larger plan. After a fierce competition, tensions peak as everyone gathers in the hall for what seems like the final showdown. Yet, instead of the expected outcome, Josh stuns Lucy by announcing her promotion to CEO, leaving her speechless. Amidst grappling with her new role, Lucy finds herself embroiled in a heated phone call, unaware it's Josh on the other end. In a surprising move, he asks her out, igniting a spark of hope for their future. In that charged moment, as they share a kiss, barriers begin to crumble, paving the way for a fresh start in their relationship, fraught with uncertainty but brimming with potential. And that's where this video ends. Watch the next one and take care.